Welcome to science class in the year 2020 to 2021. I'm Mr. Pastel, and I'm very excited to be teaching you science this year. Now, the goal of this video is to introduce what you will be learning in science this year, to give an overview of the course. But before we talk about that, we all know that 2020 has been a year unlike any other in our lives. Although the year has been extremely difficult, it has also shown us how important it is to have a solid understanding of science. But besides being important, I also believe that science should be fun. And so I want to include as many fun activities as possible, whether you're starting in school or at home. But enough said about that. Let's go over what we'll be learning this year. So now I'm going to open what we call the syllabus, which is basically a course overview of 6th grade science. So when you open it, you should see a purple logo at the top that says 6th grade, science class 2020 to 2021. And again, I'm your guide, Mr. Pastel. So we're going to be doing a combination of remote learning and in-person learning this year. Some people are starting fully remote. Some people are starting with blended learning, but let's talk about remote learning first. So when you're working from home, probably the first thing you're going to do is watch a lecture on my YouTube channel. This basically gives you an introduction to whatever scientific concept we're learning about that day. Then we will meet live to go over an activity about that concept. So again, first you learn about the concept, then you apply it with an activity. We'll be using a combination of Amplify Science, which you probably started last year with Miss Mulligan, and also some home science experiments and some stuff that's not Amplify that I've developed over the years that I think are really fun. And hopefully you have some good materials at home. But I'll let you know about that. Don't worry about that right now. For in-person learning, when you come into school or when you eventually come back to school, I want to make in-person learning as hands-on as possible. So whenever we can, as much as possible, I want to do hands-on experiments, hands-on engineering. So sometimes the assignment will be the same for remote learners and blended learners, but not always. For example, let's say that there's an experiment that is done in school in this building. Sometimes I'll tweak the assignment a little bit using home materials. So it might not be the exact same experiment, but it's teaching the same science skills and science concepts. And hopefully we all end up in the same place. Or if there's an engineering assignment, same thing. It might just be building something with different materials at home. So some of our highlights this year. Rube Goldberg machine. We're starting that soon, and it is a really fun home assignment. Act like a meteorologist, a weatherman or a weatherwoman. Tornadoes, extreme weather. Food coloring, convection, you'll find out what that is. Atmosphere balloon, studying our local ecosystem, Newtown Creek, building a food calorimeter, ecosystem stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in 6th grade. So we are studying what is science really. We got to review what science is at the beginning of the year. Weather. Thermal energy, so heat and cold and stuff like that. Harnessing human energy. So basically, how harnessing human energy, basically using the energy that's already inside our own bodies and transmitting it to the world. Ocean, atmosphere, and climate. We know that climate change is very important right now. So how does that affect the ocean? How does that affect the atmosphere? Populations and resources, matter and energy and ecosystems, So basically, how things in the environment work with each other, how humans affect the environment. And let's go over how you're graded, because that's very important. So this is the most important part here. Grading is based off of total point percentage in Google Classroom. So at the end of each quarter, you have a total possible number of points, and how many of those points did you actually earn? That's your grade. So each assignment, each daily assignment, is worth 4 points. But if we spend several days doing something, or have a big project or a longer assignment, it's going to be worth more than 4 points. Yes, we will have quizzes also, and those will be between 10 and 30 points, depends how much material is being covered. So a nice short quiz would be 10 points, but a big quiz would be more points. By the end of each quarter, should end up where classwork is 50%. The daily classwork is 50%. Special projects are 25%. Quizzes are 25%. You may have noticed that there's no homework percent on this chart. That is true. That's because my philosophy is that homework, first and foremost, should be to finish what you don't finish in school. But also in the extra time that you save by maybe not doing as much homework, is you can use that to explore nature, build things with your family, increase your STEM skills, get outside into nature, basically. So you will sometimes have things to do at home, but it's not a separate, specific part of the grade. It'll usually be to work on a project or to finish up something that we didn't have time to finish in school. And again, by the end of each week, hopefully whether you're remote or blended, that we're all on the same page and we're all staying on pace. So how to contact me and some of the digital stuff we're doing this year, my email is apistel@schools.nyc.gov. And we will be using Amplify Science, and we'll all get on that pretty soon. That's learning.amplify.com. I'll let you know about your logins. You access this video originally through Google Classroom, and that's your main hub for assignments and everything about science. And finally, right now I linked to my YouTube channel, which is called Mr. Pastel Science. And what I'll say for that is don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to stay up with the latest videos. So stay curious. I'll see you next time.